Hey guys, it's been a little bit since I made a video. Man, I've made a couple of videos and I thought, man, nobody wants to watch this crap. I got new cabinets. These are the fire station cabinets that I talked to you guys about, and so I'm doing a little bit of work on them because there were some pretty bad rust spots in some of them. Man, these are awesome cabinets. Built in the 1950s, put into that fire station. Been 50 years of firefighters doing, cooking and preparing meals and doing dishes and the whole thing on these. So I thought, man, they were going to throw them away, and I was like, man, I got to have those. So yeah, awesome metal cabinets. Great story behind the St. Charles deal. Stop production. So I'll give you a quick update. 1935 they started this company. 1941 World War II started. And so they needed to shut down production, or they shut down production of the cabinets because of the steel, started making bullets to help with the war effort. Then from there, they went back to making cabinets, high-end cabinets that actually went in some pretty unique houses like Frank Lloyd Wright's houses and stuff like that. So yeah, these are cabinets from that era, actually from that company, which is very, very cool. I had no idea until I got them home and I got to looking at that little St. Charles logo on there, and I looked that up. St. Charles Manufacturing come from St. Charles, Illinois, and I thought, well, I'll look that up and see. And yeah, real cool history. And so yeah, not only did I get some cool cabinets, I got, and the fact that the firefighters have been using them for 50 years, but they also contributed to helping out in World War II. So I've kept a piece of history here, which I'm pretty excited about. So yeah, cabinets exciting. Woohoo! Yeah, I know. You guys know what I did I got these 3M cabinets over here. Unlike those right there are double-sided. They sandwich together. Those doors are really stout. These were not. They had this little flimsy dude in there and wasn't doing very much. So I actually made me a little deal to where it actually straightened them out, because these were all bent and crooked, and you can see like that. And like I said, real flimsy. This direction, want to bend in like that. So you can see they twist down here at the bottom. Yeah, there you go. So once they get something hooked on something or whatever, they just crease. So we're going to stop that with this deal here. But yeah, I mean, nobody wants to watch do all that kind of stuff, so I repainted some of this stuff and got some of that stuff taken care of anyway. And this piece here was rusted completely out. This is where the sink goes in between. It's where the sink was. Well, the sink obviously leaked at some point, and so it rusted this piece completely out. And so I had that piece there left over that I wasn't going to use, so I just chopped a piece out of it, welded it in, and then threw some etch primer on it. I'll probably just take a little tan rattle can paint, cover that, put one of those little red mats in there and be done with that. This will just hold whatever, stuff like this probably. So that turned out fine. You can see I didn't even take the time to cut that down. I could if I wanted to make it look, but this is on the back of the wall, never going to be seen. I will have to do a little bit of something here. Probably cut a patch out, patch that piece in. This here, it has feet on the bottom that you can level with, and so this is the piece here. It was in there, and you can see it's just paper thin. It's like a razor blade. It just rusted completely out. I blasted it until there's nothing left of it. And so I took a piece of this square tubing and made that. And this one looks okay. It's got a few divots in it, but that's going to work. This one here was just crap. It was just not going to work. So went ahead and welded down this seam here. And finished that up to where it looks back factory. Cleaned all this up. There's rust all over it, and so it's ready to be primed and then welded back in. It had 3 welds here. I'm not sure, I'll have to look again, but it only had welds, no, my bad, it had welds here, 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 all these 3 places. I'll probably have to open those up just a little bit. Those may be a little small. That's probably less than a 1/4 inch, and that's 14 gauge steel, I believe. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Also, something else I'm gonna holler at you guys about, just this might help you out, it might not. The stuff called OSFO, I don't know what I did with it. Probably put it up because it's acid. There it is in the green bottle. This is the green stuff in that bottle there. So what it is phosphoric acid, and it's got a couple other things in it which makes it OSFO, but ultimately it's phosphoric acid. So me and Kevin got into a little argument. We argue a lot like an old married couple. And I think I'm right, he thinks he's right, and normally he's right, but that's beside the point, Kevin. Don't get your head too big on that one. So what I did was took this old rusted, pitted out piece of crap, threw it up there, and what the argument was over was whether a wire wheel will take the rust out of the pits, because in the past I've done it and it looked fantastic. And so he's like, no, I don't think it's doing anything but just polishing the rust or whatever. I'm like, polishing the rust? How do you polish? I don't even get that. He said, seriously, I don't think it's working. He said, the only way you're going to get that old rust out of there is if you sandblast it. I'm like, I don't think so, because, man, I took that cup wheel and took the other deal and I went over this, and it turned out fantastic. It was shiny, shiny. Looked like that down there. Looked like this right here. Only better. Didn't have any, just shiny down in there. So I'm like, all right, well, that's clean enough. I can epoxy over that. Well, the challenge was take a little bit of that OSFO, because when you put OSFO in rust, what happens? It turns black. So sure enough, I did. Put it all over this. After I did my polishing on this area, this is just rust with OSFO on it. I'll hold that right. Same with this. That's just rust with OSFO on it. So ultimately what's supposed to happen there is you take iron oxide, which is rust, and it turns into iron phosphate, which is dead rust. So I did that 2 or 3, 4 days ago, and came back and thought, I'm going to scrape on that and just look and see how, if it actually converted that rust and killed it and did all what it's supposed to do. So I took the pick here, and you can see it's orange underneath there. I just took that pick and I started scraping on it, started looking underneath. And where it's thin rust, it's not too bad. It looks like it probably did what it's supposed to do. But under here, there's still rust under there. And so even here where I did this, now I've blasted this since then, but everything was black. All these little pits were still black. So I started scraping on these little pits. I got down these little pits and there was orange underneath there. Like I said, not now, because I went back and blasted it and then OSFO'd over it again to see if the sandblasting actually got rid of the pits, which it in fact did once it was sandblasted. Only places that it didn't get in is where the sandblasting, like there's some little tiny pits that, the sandblasting media is probably too big to get down in there. But ultimately, if you just spray that OSFO over top of rust, there's still some rust underneath there. You can see it's still orange under there. Hopefully I'm holding that right. So I don't know that I get too excited about just spraying phosphoric acid. You see, the farther I go down, and I'm getting all this dead rust off there. There's still rust in there. So all it's done is literally sandwich the rust between the clean metal that would be at the bottom, then sandwich the rust in between the dead rust, which is the OSFO. So my question is, okay, does it continue to eat downward? Because that's still live rust. It didn't kill it. It only converted what's on top. So this rust is a lot like fire. It's actually oxidation. Fire is oxidation, rust is oxidation. So if you take something away from you, you've got what they call a fire triangle. So you've got heat, fuel, and oxygen. If you take one of those elements away, you can't have fire. I believe it's probably the same with this rust. I could be wrong, but if you take, I know for a fact they say if you take oxygen away from this, it can't live. It can't continue to go and grow and all that. So I think that's the premise behind the Por 15 is, they kill whatever they can with the phosphoric acid, and then they seal over top of that with whatever their paint, whatever that is, and it seals it so it can't grow anymore. No, I don't know if it dies. I don't know if it just goes dormant. I don't know. That's a poor 15-person question. But same on this. I mean, I sprayed phosphoric acid over the rust, and it didn't sink all the way down to the bare metal and kill all of the rust. It only converted what was on top. So basically what I'm getting at is be careful if that's what you think you're going to do, because I've seen a lot of stuff that uses the rust converter and all that. And if it doesn't in fact seal it from oxygen, that rust is going to continue to go on down through there. And my guess, that's my guess, my opinion. Now if you get to where, you know, it can get no oxygen, then sure, it's probably going to, you know, stop or whatever. But I don't know. Just throwing that out there, just a little test here on this. And yeah, again, Barb, you were right. Obviously didn't get down in the pits with that wire wheel. So if you think you're getting down in those pits with the wire wheel and it looks shiny, it's still got rust in there. So you're gonna have to blast that out of there to get down into pits. If this is sheet metal and it's pitted that bad, you're probably gonna do what I did here. You're probably just gonna replace it. So that's probably a non-issue. On something thicker like that, though, you could get away with that. All right, guys, that's probably going to be it for tonight. And just want a quick video because I haven't uploaded anything, kind of let you guys know what I'm doing. And so, yeah, we'll see you.